there! Welcome to Kinderspark 2021. I'm Stacy Smith from East Library Children's Department, and I'm here today to talk to you about, well, talking. About talking to our preschool children, which is actually one of the most important things that we can do to help them have success in school. And you're probably thinking, well, of course I talk to my child, doesn't everybody? And you're right, we all do talk to our kids. But we don't always necessarily talk to them in the way that's going to help them the most when they get to school. We tend to talk to our preschoolers in short, quick sentences, give them a lot of directions like, please put on your shoes and don't touch that, that's hot. We tend to talk to them in baby talk sometimes because we forget that they're not toddlers anymore and they need to be talked to more like we talk to grown-ups and other kids. And most of all, we don't always talk to our kids enough. Some of us talk to kids a lot, use a lot of different words in some families, but in other families, maybe we don't talk to them too often. Maybe they don't get to hear nearly as many words. And that's important because children learn what words mean from hearing their parents and caregivers say them and say what they mean. So, if a child has never heard a word, doesn't know what they mean, they're never going to be able to read that word. And I'll tell you why. Let me just show you a word here. A word that kids see a lot in school in alphabet books and readers. It's apple. And when a child is trying to learn to sound out that word, apple, they know the letter sounds. They can try to put them together, apple, apple. But if a child has actually seen and heard an apple, seen and heard of an apple, knows what they are because they've eaten it or they've seen it in the store and someone told them that that was an apple, which is really important, then they might be able to make a brain connection as they're sounding out the word apple. Oh, that's apple. I know that word. That's that juicy, delicious thing that I ate at home, or that round red thing that I saw at the store and someone told me it was something to eat and that it was an apple. I know that word, apple. And so from then on, they'll be able to read that word. But if a child has never seen or heard of an apple, maybe because they don't eat apples at their house, or maybe because they walked past one in the store, but nobody ever told them what they were or what they were for, they're going to go, apapala, apapali, apapa. I don't know what this word is. It just sounds like a bunch of nonsense syllables to me. And they're not going to be able to figure out what that word is or read that word. And that's why it's so important that our children know lots and lots of words before they go to kindergarten. In fact, studies have shown that children need to know thousands of words before they start kindergarten in order to really have success at sounding out words and reading. That sounds scary, thousands of words, but actually it's not. If we just talk to our children a lot, have lots of conversations, use lots of different words, they will easily pick up thousands of words, meanings, and know thousands of words by the time they get to kindergarten. But there are some things that we can do to help. For one thing, we need to remember to have conversations with our kids the way that we do with adults, where I talk to you, you talk to me, I talk to you, you talk to me. Those things are called conversational turns, and the more that we have of those, the more words our children get to hear and learn the meanings of. And also, if we ask them questions that they don't have to answer with yes or no, but where they actually answer with words, and we do the same things when they ask questions, they learn more words that way too. So, the other thing is, you kind of panic and you think, oh, but I'm never going to have time to just sit down and have these conversations with my child all the time. Well, you don't have to. You can go about your business during your day because parents are busy. We have a lot to do. Caregivers are busy. But you can talk to your child as you're doing the things you need to do. You can talk to them while you're cooking, while they're eating, while you're driving, while you're in the grocery store shopping, just looking out the window. And you can talk about all the things that you see that are around you. Give them names, tell the children what they mean, what they're for. You talk about what people are doing. What are those animals? What kinds of sounds do they make? Those animals that we see outside the window. All those sorts of things really help because the more that you talk, the more words they hear, the more they learn the meanings. And there are some things that you can do to kind of help too that are extra fun. One of those is definitely reading and talking about books as you read them. You could talk about a fact book like this book Apple by Don Oldfield, and as you read through the book you would learn about lots of things like how many different kinds of colors of apples there are, how they start as a seed, grow into a plant, grow into a tree. The tree gets flowers on it, it gets apples, the bees pollinate the apples. It's all in the book, and you can talk about all of those things and add even more words of your own, and then the children will learn lots of extra words, and they love to be snuggled up with you and read. It doesn't have to be a fact book either. One of the things I love to do is take a storybook like this book, Apple Farmer Annie by Monica Wellington, and take a picture walk through the book. And that would be either before or after you read the story. Then you just go through and you look specifically at the pictures and talk about them together. So that as you're reading this story about Annie, who has her own apple farm, you can look at as she's cooking here in the kitchen, making things with her apples to sell. You can notice the things like the bowl and the spoon that she's cooking with. I think there's a rolling pin in here somewhere. And yes, you can talk about the things that she puts in her recipes, like butter and milk and eggs. You can talk about the animals who are in the kitchen with her. There's her kitty. You can talk about the things that she makes, like pie and cupcakes. You could talk about how, on the page where Annie goes to market, there's this great page where, there we are, where she's in the market, she's selling things to people. You can count how many people there are. You can talk about what they look like, what color is this person's hair, what color shirt is that person wearing, who's buying what is this interesting thing back here at the scale there on the back. You can talk about that. You can talk about the money and what do they use the money for. There are just so many things that you can find in the pictures in a book to talk about. You can also look quickly before you start a story and have the child try to guess from the pictures what's going to happen in this story and have a conversation about that. And the other thing that you can do that is great for talking with your child is to play together. Kids love to play with their parents and caregivers and get that special fun and attention. So if you're going to play together, let's say you're going to play dress up, you can talk about the things that you dress up in. Oh, this is a crown, or maybe we could call it a tiara. What are these sparkling things? Oh, those are jewels. Isn't this shiny? You could talk about other types of toys. Oh, look, here's a little dinosaur. What kind is this? This is a triceratops. Ooh, how many horns does he have on his head? What's this? That's his tail. What did this dinosaur eat? And so you can learn all kinds of things. Your child can learn all kinds of things, and you can have fun playing together at the same time. Because don't forget, your child just loves to do things with you. And that's going to help them learn the most of all. And of course, with an apple, maybe the best way to learn about what an apple is to share one. And you can talk about how tasty and delicious it is, how it's crunchy, how it's sweet, how it's juicy. You can talk about the seeds inside, the colors, everything. So, whatever you do, just talk to your kids a lot and have fun. And thanks for listening. Oh, and by the way, if you'd like to do more fun activities with your child that will help them learn, you can go to the library's website at ppld.org, find our KinderSpark page, and there's a link on there that you can get a free activity booklet to have all kinds of fun and free activities to do at home. So give us a visit, and we'll hope to see you inside the library too one of these days. Thanks. Bye-bye.